Okay. So the last class we were discussing about sharing feature. What is a sharing feature? What is the definition of sharing feature?
To make the records visible to other users inside the organization, we use sharing features.
Right. I gave the requirement. Did anybody implemented the requirement for that? So the requirement for create an account record by login with development user. Login with development user account and share the account record. Share the account record to manager user. I guess this is the requirement that I gave, right?
Yes, ma'am.
With read-only access. Is anybody implemented this?
No, ma'am, I'm yet to implement it.
Others? Anybody implemented this logic? Shrikant, are you new to this class?
Yeah, just I'm checking. Today only I joined. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. So today is your first class, right?
Yeah, it's my first class.
Okay. Okay. Anybody else has implemented this? Okay. Let's go ahead this. So here, create an account record by logging with development user. Just to recall back, why we came to this requirement is OWD setting was private. Right? OWD setting was private. When it is a private, we are not able to see the record. Other members are not able to see the record. So let's go to the roles. Okay. So we have these roles. We have these roles. We have these roles and we created the users and assigned these roles. Now, whenever the CTO is creating the record, right now OWD setting is private. Whenever the user CTO is creating the record, only this person should be able to see the record and his manager should be able to see the record. Now, if we want other person to share the record, then right now we wanted to share the record with VP, or this is the development user, right? Now this is the development user, VP is testing user. Now what we want is right now the requirement is development user will be creating the record. Who is the development user? This person is the development user. And then we will be sharing the record with manager user as a read only. Who is the manager user? Manager user is CFO. So when this person creates the record, ideally this person should not be seeing the record. But right now what we are doing it, we are going to share the record with this person so that this person should be able to see the record. So that this person should be able to see the record. Now COO cannot be seeing this. If this person is there, customer user, if this person is there, this person should not be see the record. Now let's go ahead and implement it. Log in with the development user. Let's go to the users. No, we are logging in with the development user. Let's create a new account. So let's give some name to this private test account and number C43999. Type prospect, industry agriculture, rating warm. Let's save this. Now this is the record is created by development user. We can see customer owner is development user, created by is development user. Now let's log out. First, let's check with the manager user. We have a manager user. So let's log in as a manager user. Click on accounts. Not the accounts, customers. So all. Now this person is not able to see any record. Now this person is not able to see any record. Who is this person? Manager user. Manager user cannot see the record. Now the development user, what this person will do, let's log in as a development user. Right now, whatever the record is created by the development user, this person is going to share the record with development user. Now, how can we share this record? Now we have some option called here sharing button. Sharing button option is there. Now once we click on the sharing button, here there is a one model pop-up is going to open. And this is going to give me the different option to share the record. User, public group, role and subordinates. Right now we are focusing on just a users. User, public group, just users right now we are focusing on. Right? So which user we are planning to give? We are planning to give the user to the manager user. I can give a multiple users. If I search here user, I can see manager user, I can see testing user, I can give whoever I want multiple users, I can give the multiple usernames here. Right? Multiple usernames, I can give it here. Right? For now, we are giving the user manager. And what is the level of access? The level of access, we are planning to give it as a read only, because the requirement says that read only access. So let's give the read only access. Whenever we are working on the account, level, if we are working on the sharing on the account level, case and opportunities both together will have a access level which is linked to the account. Only for the account, this is the, because case is linked to the account, opportunity is linked to the account. So definitely when we are changing the access for the, when we are giving the level of access for the account, it will ask the case level of access also, opportunity level of access also. Right? So by default, these two will be coming with the account. Now, if you click on here, another option is shared with one group of user. It is saying that there is a one member we have shared. Who is the one member? Development user. we actually did not share it. This person is the owner. So by default, this record will be displayed. Now I'll click on save. I'm sharing with user manager. Now, if I click on sharing again, what is happening here? It is saying that two group of users. Who is the second person? User manager. Manager user. Right, this manager user type is user and read only private. This is the what option which we have given. This is the option which we have given. Now let's save this. Log out as a development user. Log in back as a manager user. Manager user. Now let's go to the customers. Now let's see all customers. And this person is able to see the record. This person is able to see the record. And what is the level of access that we have given? Level of access which we have given is read only. So basically this person should be able to only view the record. This person only view the record. If I give the read edit, only the edit will be there. Only the edit access will be there. But he should not be deleting the record. There should not be a delete record, or this person should not have a shared record. For example, let's go to the profile of this user, manager user. So manager user has the profile, SIT platform profile. Now let's edit this. Scroll down, account level, I'll give the edit, delete, create. So that means person should be create, read, edit, delete. All options I'm giving it. Let's save this. Now next thing, I'm going to log in as a development user. Instead of read only, what I'll do is I'll give the read and edit access. Go to the customers, private account, sharing. Now edit, manager user, we have a read only. I'll change it to the read write. Let's click on save. Log out. Now I'll log in back as a manager user. Let's open the customer's information. So private account. Now this person has a edit access. Okay, he can edit it, but he cannot delete it. He cannot delete it. Delete option is available. But when I try to delete this record is actually created by development user. This record is created by development user, and the development user shared the record with manager user. Now, if I try to delete this, record, did I log in as a manager user? Manager user. Fine. If I try to delete this record, now let's delete it. What it is saying that you cannot delete it. That means you do not have a permission to edit or delete. Check your administrator for help. So whoever the records are shared with this person, the other person will not be edited. And even they are not able to share the record with other member. Even they are not able to share the record with another member. If this person creates a record, in case if this person creates a record, test 1, 2, 3, and let's click on save. In case if this person is created, now the owner is manager user. Now this person will have a sharing. So that means whoever the owner is of the record, only that person can share the record. If other person is shared the record, and if you are trying to share it, we cannot do that because we are not the owner of that particular record. Clear? because we are not the owner of that record, so we cannot share the record with other member. We cannot share the record or we cannot delete it. Next, navigation. Navigation is, what are the navigation that we have to do? What are the steps that we have done in order to implement this requirement?
We created an account record first in the account object.
We first logged in as
Development user.
and then created the record. And then
share the record with manager user.
so we went to go to the detail section,
Yes.
record detail page. And then we clicked on the sharing button.
In manager user level, I give the modify all. And development user share the record to manager user, just read only. At that time, manager user can edit or not the record.
I would say right, because we have already did it with the edit access, right? Try with the modify.
Okay.
Select the user from the lookup icon. Share the record. Then access level. What is the access level we have given initially? Read only.
Read only.
And next what we did? That's it, save button. The other person is able to see the record. This is what we have implemented. Right? Now, let's move on to the next one. So far, whatever we have seen with the examples. So far, whatever we have seen with the private, where the OWD option is private. Then if I have a private option, what are the different ways that I can share the record? That's what we have implemented. We have seen the manual sharing. Manual sharing, using the sharing button, I can share with single user or multiple user. I can share the record with single user or multiple user. Let's assume that I have 100 records. I have 100 records. Record 1, 2, 3, 4, like up to 100, I have the records. So I have 100 records. So from starting with record 1, starting with record 1 to till record, assume that record 50. Record 50. And in my organization, we have 100 users. In my organization, we have 100 users. User 1 to I have 100 users, user 1. Okay, so I'll take random users, user 4, user 5, user 10, user 20 or 30, user 40. So we have a random users. So basically, record 1 has to be shared with user 1 and user 4. Record 2 has to be shared with user 30 and user 40. Now record 3 has to be shared with user 5 and user 10. Now tomorrow, if somebody else is coming, tomorrow some new person is coming, new person is joined the organization, probably 51. When the new person is joined, then if this person will have a similar access as a user 1 and a user 4, then what should I need to do? Again, I click on record, go to the detail section, click on a sharing button, then I need to share the record with new person. So every time I need to repeat that steps. Every time I need to go to the detail section, click on a sharing button, and then I have to do that. Right? I have to, every time I have to edit, and that means I need somebody who we wanted to dedicate it. We want somebody to dedicate to maintaining this user level access, sharing the record to somebody else. So what is happening in this case? Selecting these multiple users every time is very, very difficult. For that one, what we can do is instead of selecting the users separately, we can group them. We can group them. How can I group them? User 1 and user 4 is a one group. User 5 and user 10 is another group. User 30 and user 40 is another group. Whoever is coming the person, I can have based on their accessibility, based on for the new member, based on their access level, I can put them into the group level. We can group them, what are the users are available to whom we want to share the record. We can combine with the people into one of the group. So in that group, we can able to add, I can keep on adding it. For example, when I say group is nothing but it's similar like we have a WhatsApp, right? Everybody is using the WhatsApp. Inside the WhatsApp, we have a groups. Different groups are available. Suppose in that group, if one person is posting some message, if one person is posting some message in the group, other people will be able to access that message and read that message. That means instead of me sharing the message to the single person, instead of sharing the message to the single person. Now in WhatsApp, if I have to share the message, I have to open the each member profile and I have to send the information to the each member. Instead of me doing into the individual user, what I can do is I can create a group. I can create a group. All of them I can create a group. Now I can simply send only one message so that everybody will be able to access that same message at the same time. Instead of me wasting a time sending the one by one user, in one time, I can send a message to the 100 members in the group or what other members are there. Right? So same concept here. Same concept here. The concept is I'm going to create a group. So what are the groups that I can create it? I can create any group. Let's assume that we have a Salesforce group. Just a second. So for example, I have a Salesforce organization here. I have Salesforce organization. This is my Salesforce org. I have Salesforce org. So this is my Salesforce org. Inside my Salesforce org, we have a different groups. I have a one group. Assume that there are 3 groups are there. So one is Hyderabad sales group. Hyderabad sales group. And the second one we have a, for example, Bangalore sales group. Bangalore sales group, and we have a other sales group. Okay. So we have a 3 groups in my org. In my org, there are 3 groups are there. So in the each group, possible that there could be a one member or there could be a multiple member. It doesn't matter. Group can have multiple users or group can have one user. Assume that Hyderabad group has 3 members and the Bangalore group has 2 members and other group has 1 member. It is possible one member can also be sit into the one group. Tomorrow, if somebody is game and somebody is wanted to join into this other group, they can come in and join into the other group. Now, we have a 3 groups, right? We have a 3 groups and we have it, assume that I have a 50 records, record 1, record 2, record 3, up to the record 50 I have. Up to the record 50 I have. Now, as I have the groups, it is easy for me. I can go ahead and select, for example, if I wanted to share the record 1 with the Hyderabad group, then I can share with the Hyderabad group. Whenever I share the record with Hyderabad group, these users, whoever the users are inside the group, they should be able to automatically access the record. They should automatically get the access. As soon as I share the record with Hyderabad group, these users should automatically get the access. Now, it is possible that one user can be into the multiple groups. It is possible. It is possible one user can have into the multiple group. So user can be the part of Hyderabad group and user can be part of the Bangalore group. User can be part of the Hyderabad group and user can be part of the Bangalore group. So which is possible. Which is possible. Also, I can share with. So also I can share with Bangalore sales group, right? Which is possible. And the user can be the part of multiple groups, which is, there is no restriction on that. And I can create multiple public groups. I can create a multiple public groups. sharing record to the multiple users. So while sharing the record, multiple users, like instead of me selecting to the each user, I can have directly, I can send them to the a group. Instead of selecting each user, separately, we can add them to the group. What is this group called? We call in the Salesforce this group as a public group. We call them as a public group. So basically, what is this public group? Public group contains a set of users and subgroup also. Public group can have one or more users. Public group can have one or more users, which is possible. And public group is also part of another group. That means if I have a other sales group, okay, other sales group can also, along with the users, it can also take another public group. I'll show you that with the practical. Now, while sharing the record, we can share the record to the public group, right? So how can we do that? For example, let's take a requirement. Configure a public group. Let's say that Hyderabad sales group. Hyderabad sales group. So what we can do is we can, inside this Hyderabad group, we will add the users. Let's say that I'm going to add the user, customer user we have, and we have another user, which is a testing user. So I'll create a public group, Hyderabad sales group. Okay, and I'll add two users. One is the user, customer user, and another one, testing user. So let's go and see how to add the public group. Let's go to the setup and search here for the public group. So this is the public groups, and click on new public group. So we can give the public group name Hyderabad sales group, and this one grant access using the hierarchy. When we say grant access using the hierarchy checkbox, what is that means? Basically, if I'm sharing the record to the Hyderabad group, okay, if I'm sharing the record to the Hyderabad group, what is happening right now? Whoever the users are sit in the group, they will be getting the access. Whoever the users within the group, they will get the access. But right now, when I say group access using the hierarchy, grant access using the hierarchy, That means this user, whoever it reports to, their managers also should get the access automatically. As soon as I share the record to the group, users within the group should get the access and their managers also should see the record. That is the grant access using the hierarchy. See here, we have a help when it is selected, any records shared with the users in the group are also shared with the users hierarchy in the role hierarchy. That means if I'm sharing the record with this person, or if I'm sharing the record with this person, because this person is part of the Hyderabad group. When I'm sharing this record with this person, automatically their manager should be getting the access to it. Automatically, their manager should be getting the access to it. So that is the group grant access using the hierarchy. Now, I can, inside this public group, I can include another public group, or I can add role. I can add a roles and subordinate. I can add users. For now, we are going to add the users. Now I can select multiple users at a time and I can give the access to this public, which is possible. But as per our requirement, we are going to use the customer, user and user testing. Rest all we are going to take out. Now I have added the 2 users. Now let's click on save button. This part will come to that later. Delegated administration group will come to that later. So now I have added the 2 users to Hyderabad sales group. So we have one group which is called as a Hyderabad sales group. So let's go ahead and create another group which is a Bangalore group. So we have a Bangalore sales group. Inside the Bangalore sales group, like if I'm selecting the public group, it is showing me the another group here. So I can select that group also, which is possible. Right? And I can use the users. In this case, users, I'll take user testing and user manager. User testing and user manager. Now, if you see user testing is part of Hyderabad group, part of Bangalore group. Testing user is part of Hyderabad group as well as he is part of the Bangalore group. So which is possible. One user can be there in the multiple groups. One user can be part of multiple user group. Let's say that we have a requirement. The requirement is create an account record by login with the development user and share the record with let's say that Hyderabad sales group. Hyderabad sales group. With what level of access? Let's give the read write access. Read write access. Now, is it easy to do this? Instead of single user, what I have to do? I have to select the public group. Right? Let's log in with the development user. So development user is having the CTO role. Now let's go to the customers. Now let's take this one, existing one, private test account. Now sharing. Now this time, instead of user, what we have to do? Public group. We have to select the public group. Now search for the public group. So what are the public groups we have? Hyderabad and sales. So we are going to select the Hyderabad sales group. What level of access we can give? We can give read write. So right now it is showing the 2 groups. As soon as I click on save, it says the 3 groups we are sharing the record. 3 group of users we are sharing the record. First one is Hyderabad sales group. What is this? Type is public group. Rest all our type is user. And what is the level of access that we have given? Read write access on the customer. Case level private, opportunity level private. Now I need not to select multiple users here. Simply I can select the group here. Simply I can select the group here. Simply I can select the group and I can assign to them. Now what we are doing it, we are assigning multiple users which are part of the public group. That means I'm using the manual sharing, using the sharing button, and we are deciding the level of access. Then we are sharing the records to the public group. We are sharing the record to public group. And this public group is whoever the users are there in this public group, the record gets shared with all the users. Right? This is manual sharing. Now, instead of going with the manual sharing, let's automate everything. So far we have automated to create a certain level. Like instead of single user, multiple users, I created a group, and that group I'm sharing the record. Now, more further, I wanted to automate. More further, I wanted to automate. When you say more further automate, it means, for example, as we have said, like we have 100 accounts. Okay. Each record has to be shared here. Each record has to be shared. If I have it 10 records or 50 records or 100 records, anyway, I have to go to the each record and select the public group. Each record and I have to select the public group, right? They're also somewhat manual, which I'm doing it. That I do not want. As soon as the record is created, I want the record to be shared. Without clicking on a sharing button, as soon as the record is created, I wanted to share the record based on the certain conditions. Based on certain conditions, I wanted to share the record with groups. I wanted to share the records with group. Now what we are doing it here, we are manually clicking on the sharing button. Here I'm clicking on the sharing button. So on clicking on the sharing button, I'm sharing the records with multiple groups. Now I do not want this condition. I do not want this condition. What is the logic has to be happen? For example, I have a certain condition. Condition is industry equal to banking. Industry equal to banking and account active checkbox. Active equal to true. If these two conditions are met for any record, if these two conditions are met, then what I wanted to share these records to the Hyderabad group. Whenever certain conditions are met, then I wanted to share the records automatically with Hyderabad sales group. I do not want to do manual step like clicking on a sharing button and sharing with the public group. That I do not want. Now, how can we do that? That is, which is a automated sharing, which is a automated sharing. How can we do the automated sharing? Using the sharing rules. Using the sharing rules. Now the sharing rule will be getting applied to our existing record. Existing record. So here, whatever the manual which we have done it, because this is user is selecting, it is a user decision that they wanted to share the record that is created new record or existing record. They can decide it by the developer. Now, when I do the automated sharing, when I write the sharing rules, does it apply to the only to the new records or does it apply to the existing records also? It will apply both. It will apply both existing records as well as new records. Whenever the record is created or updated or modified, some DML operation we are doing on the record. Any DML operation that we do on the record, which will be automatically, sharing rule is automatically will apply the access. Whenever we create update, then the sharing rule is automatically applied. And we can create this sharing rule on all the objects, which is possible. I can create it on the standard object. I can create it on the custom object. There is no restriction on the sharing rule. And on one object, I can create multiple sharing rules. There is no restriction on that. But it is in the real time, it is better to maintain max 3 sharing rules. Do not create a 50 sharing rules on one object. And later it is confusing for everybody. So max of max 2 is a better. If we need additional one more, go for the 3, but do not go for more than 3. So I would suggest 1 is the best one. One sharing rule is the best one. But if you have a complication in your requirement, then you can go to the 2. Max, you can go to the 2, but try to do it in one sharing rule. Okay, so one single object, we can have multiple sharing rules. And we can do this sharing rule concept on the standard object as well as the custom object. So now the sharing rule has a different ways which we can do it. Now let's go ahead and note down the automated sharing. Okay. Automated sharing while sharing the records to the users. With manual sharing, if the number of records, in case if the number of records are more, in case if the number of records are more, then it will be time consuming. Time consuming process. So to make the sharing process automated, what we can do, we can use sharing rule. We can use the sharing rules. Sharing rules are used to share the records to the required public group. We can share the records with the required public group or role or role and subordinates. Role and subordinates automatically based on the certain conditions. And when this sharing rule will apply. Now, if I implement a sharing rule, when this is going to apply, this is always going to apply. Sharing rule is always apply after insert or after update. Sharing rule will apply after insert or after update. Will always fire on after insert or after update. That means whenever the record is inserted or whenever record is created or whenever the record is updated. Right? And here sharing rule also can be applied to the child objects. It is not that I cannot apply the child object which has a master detail relationship. Let's assume that I have a child object which has a master detail relationship, with account. So now can I apply the sharing rule to the child object? Yes, we can apply sharing rule to the master detail child objects also. we can apply the sharing rule for the master detail relationship also. Now, what are the different ways that we can share the record? Different ways of sharing rules. Different ways of sharing rules. One is owner-based sharing rule. Second one is criteria based sharing rule. Owner-based sharing rule and criteria-based sharing rule. These are the two ways which we can share the record. One is owner-based sharing and second one is criteria-based sharing. We will see this tomorrow. Okay. So far whatever we have discussed, any questions on that?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Interview
Um,
question. Yeah.
Yes, I have one question. Like,
Yes.
can you explain about packages and packages, installed packages? What is it mean, ma'am?
Packages.
Yes,
Where it is coming, the topic packages.
not here. In the Salesforce and setup menu, we have in packages level.
That is a different topic, but we'll come to that later. Any questions in this, whatever we have discussed today?
Delegated approver means delegated approver in user level. We have one option like delegated approver.
User level, or you are saying on the public group level?
Not here, ma'am. Whenever we create a user record, right? So at that time, we have one field label like delegate approver and a manager is there, two fields.
Where is that field? Okay, we'll come to that. Any questions on the sharing functionality? Whatever we have discussed, any questions on the sharing? Manual sharing, sharing button, read only, public groups, multiple share, use single share, automated share. Any questions on this?
Like here, no questions, ma'am. Here.
Okay, we'll come to that. Just give me some time.
Okay.
So interview questions. What is public group? How to create? What is the navigation? Steps for creating public group. What is sharing rule? What are the different types? What are the different type of sharing rules? Okay, so that is the interview question. Assignment. So assignment is same thing. Samskar IT sales group. Okay, for this, what you need to do, first you need to create a public group. Prerequisite is create a public group. Namaskar IT sales group. And add the users. Users to this group. So who are the users? Testing user. Testing users. And then customer user. Testing user and customer user. This is a prerequisite. Fine.
Okay, ma'am.
Next, we have a trial head. Except Amala, I'm not seeing any assignments from anybody. I don't know why we are not doing the assignments. I'm not seeing any assignment from anybody. So profile, roles and profiles. Perfect. This is the security permission set. So complete this. Where is it? Security permission set, profiles, everything we have here. So complete this. Why nobody is doing the assignment except Amla? Amla is doing, I know that. And nobody is updating the sheet also. Fine. So please practice it. If you do not practice, you will never understand. Again, you have to start.